The Heat could have had Durant. Why did the trade fall through? Before the Phoenix Suns traded Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets, several other teams had the experienced forward on their wish list. Durant himself also made it clear where he would most like to play. Apart from the team in Texas, where he ultimately landed, he also mentioned the San Antonio Spurs and the Miami Heat. According to the latest reports, it was actually the Heat who were close to bringing in the former league MVP, but everything fell apart over one obstacle. The Miami Heat have been especially active during this offseason. For example, by trading away Kyle Anderson and Kevin Love, they acquired Norman Powell in return. They also extended Davion Mitchell's contract, signing him to a 2-year, $24 million deal. And that still didn't seem to be the end of their moves. On Friday, the Heat sent Haywood Highsmith to the Brooklyn Nets in a move aimed at lowering their luxury tax bill. Could they be planning further roster changes? Possibly. But Barry Jackson revealed that Kevin Durant, the star who never ended up in Florida, was also somehow involved in the story. According to a source with direct knowledge, the Heat were ready to offer Andrew Wiggins, Terry Rozier, Highsmith, Jaime Jaquez, and the 20th pick in June's draft in exchange for Durant and Cody Martin, reported a Miami Herald journalist. The proposal seemed fairly reasonable, especially since KD isn't getting any younger and is moving closer to retirement with each passing year. The problem was that the Phoenix Suns decided such a deal didn't work for them and countered with their own offer, which the Heat refused. In the end, it all came down to one player. According to Shams, the Suns wanted Jaquez, Nikola Jovic, Highsmith, the 20th draft pick, a pick swap, as well as one of Wiggins Rozier included in the deal. That's why Jovic and Kasparas Jakucionis will have to prove in the new season that the Heat's decision was the right one. It turns out Durant didn't move to Miami mainly because the Heat refused to include Nikola Jovic in the trade package. Apparently, the team in Florida believes he still has untapped potential and had no intention of giving him up for an aging veteran, especially since the 22-year-old from Serbia is coming off his best season since being drafted 27th overall in 2022. In 46 appearances, only 10 starts, he averaged 10.7 points, 3.9 rebounds, and 2.8 assists, shooting 45.6% from the field and 37.1% from three-point range. That was enough to convince the coaching staff and team executives not to include him in a Durant trade a few months ago. In the end, Miami missed out, and the 36-year-old Durant ended up with the Houston Rockets in a deal that involved a total of 7 teams, setting a new NBA record. NBA legend reveals his addiction. Shaquille O'Neal, former player for teams including the Los Angeles Lakers, has openly spoken about his dependence on painkillers during his NBA career. In a conversation on the Armchair Expert podcast hosted by Dax Shepard, O'Neal admitted that he had to rely on those medications in order to keep playing despite numerous injuries. He revealed that his coaches were aware of the situation, but he never shared it with his family. O'Neal emphasized that while he was dependent on painkillers, he did not consider himself addicted. On days when I couldn't move, I would take 1 or 2 pills just to be able to function. But I don't do that anymore, he added. Kristaps Porzingis on what he wants to do after his NBA career. Porzingis completely surprised with his words. He revealed that after finishing his basketball career, he would like to pursue a career in MMA. The best years of Porzingis' basketball journey seem to be behind him, as shown by his move to a club with fewer achievements than the Boston Celtics. The Latvian star is increasingly thinking about basketball retirement. He spoke about ending his career in an interview with SportaCenters. The 30-year-old revealed that once he leaves the NBA, he would like to try his hand at MMA. MMA is a sport very close to my heart. It's number 1 for me to watch. I'm very passionate about it. I promised the club I represent that I wouldn't do it during my career. I'm saving myself so I can start an MMA career after basketball. The most expensive transaction in NBA history. Boston Celtics sold for $6.1 billion. The NBA Board of Governors has approved the sale of the Boston Celtics, clearing the way for a $6.1 billion deal. This marks the highest price ever paid for a sports franchise, surpassing the $6.05 billion sale of the Washington Commanders in 2023. According to PAP, the new owner of the Celtics will be William Chisholm, co-founder of Symphony Technology. The investor group also includes Robert Hale, Bruce Beal Jr., and the firm 6th Street. The initial agreement was reached in March 2025. Led by Jason Tatum, the Boston Celtics captured their 18th NBA championship in July 2024, becoming the most decorated franchise in league history, moving ahead of the Los Angeles Lakers.